over at Niagara. Up next, we do have Iona's Billi Chambers. We're a minute or two ahead of schedule, but I believe Coach is already on.
Hi, Taylor.
Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Excited for this weekend. Hopefully more basketball, more Iona basketball. But again, thank you for hopping on this morning. If you could just start us off with a statement, and then we'll get to it.
Sure. Obviously, taking my call here from my car office. We're finishing up our fifth pause at this moment. Just had testing this morning, our typical surveillance testing, just to make sure everyone's okay. And we're just plugging away, just taking it one day at a time, continuing to stay in a really healthy, positive mindset, encouraging each other, and looking forward to getting back on the court with the team.
So let's start off there. You're coming off pause. I believe your first game back will be against Marist on a Wednesday.
Right.
If I'm correct. So during this pause, how have you been staying in contact with your team, and what have you as a coach been doing differently?
The big thing I think that has been consistent for all coaches this year is doing a lot of film work, getting on Zoom calls with them, having a lot of team meetings, really focusing on the mental health side of things, and then just really watching ourselves on film of things that we want to adjust and areas where we want to get better. It was funny. I was talking to one of the players yesterday, and because of some injuries here and there, and then obviously because of the pauses after Niagara's game, we really haven't been on the court as a full team in almost a month now. So, what are our responsibilities? How do we get better? And really challenging them to identify their responsibilities and making sure that we're prepared once we get back on the court. So, a lot of film, a lot of conversation, really focusing on ourselves and just being a little bit different from how we would normally do it. Usually you're preparing for the other team, you're watching a ton of their film, but we really decided to focus more on ourselves, our basketball, our mental health, and really pushing each other through this pause.
So I heard the words mental health, I think, twice in that last response. So let's focus on that real quick. The month of February for you guys looks like it's going to be very busy in terms of the amount of games. So how do you prepare your team physically, yes, for playing that much, but also from a mental standpoint of, having to grind through that?
I think that's just it, just focusing on it, having the daily conversations. The biggest thing that has come from the pauses for us is the individual wellness check-ins that the coaches are doing with each of the players. We take a different cohort or a different suite that they live in each day, and all of us touch base and just have FaceTime conversations, phone conversations, just to check in to see how they're doing. I think we have an incredibly resilient group, an incredibly mentally strong group that understands the mental health piece of it, and they make it a priority themselves to meditate, to talk to sports psychologists, to make sure that they're in the right mind frame for this. Because we knew it would be a challenge. We've talked about this all the way back through the summer when we decided, we are coming back and we're going to play this season. So, really just making sure that we're having the constant conversation, anticipating any, concerns early, and dealing with the bumps when they come, because they're going to come. This is not easy. And not every single one of them goes through every day with that mindset that they can get through it. And you just have to find ways to really connect and encourage each other to make sure that we can really just take it one day at a time and grow through all of the experiences that we're having.
So prior to your team shutdowns, you guys were playing some incredible team defense. I have a note here from Jack Clark on your staff saying that your team ranked inside the top 25 nationally in scoring defense and turnovers forced. How important is that to your team's success? And is that something heading into the season that you were really focused on?
Absolutely. That's something that's always been a focal point for us. We had a great year defensively when we won the MAAC championship, and it's something that this group talks about day in and day out. It's been a constant theme from that group going forward that we want to be the best defensive team in the league. So it's a focal point every day that we get on the court together. It's a huge focal point when we do film together. And our leaders really take, the reins on that one. Fauna Camillion, who's guarding the best player every night, who is taking charges all over the floor, who holds herself to a high standard defensively, really allows that mindset to permeate through the team. So, when we have an opportunity to get together and really get after it, it's something that they're talking about constantly, in an area that we want to, be the leaders in as much as we possibly can.
So we're aware of players like Chameleon and Paula Weeks, elected to the preseason first team and third team. Who are some other players on your team that have, really stepped up this season?
We've had quite a few. Anushka Meyer has been a great addition to our team. She plays every position for us. There's times she's running the point guard spot for us. She's running off the ball for us. She's posting up for us. Her versatility allows us to play a lot of different type of ways and do some different things. Olivia Bezodenos, I mean, her shooting is just phenomenal and has helped us overcome some scoring slumps in some of our games. But we've had quite a few young ladies who have really just started to break out of their shell in a few games, even despite the inconsistency of being on the court and training. Janae Dublin, who is a freshman who came in playing great and earned a starting spot for herself. You see the ups and downs in her games, but I think that she's going to be an incredible player in this league with just the sheer talent that she has alone when we have some time to really truly develop her. And Cheyenne Moy, her game is starting to come along. She had a really rough start to the season in terms of her production. She was one of the leading scorers off the bench for us last year and really started to get settled in the last couple of games, putting some points on the board for us. But man, I tell you, that kid's mentality, her voice, her leadership has really been growing, and she's been one that's really kind of helping glue the team together.
So now I'm going to ask you the most popular question of the week: schedule changes. It seems that unfortunately, there's something new coming. Hopefully, thank God this morning, no more changes for Iona, at least not yet. How have your team, or how have you and your team and your staff, been able to adjust to changes on the fly when you could have a new opponent, in 48 hours down the road?
My staff has been incredible. Everybody's working on making sure that we have the scouts prepared, just trying to position ourselves to be as prepared as possible. Our team has been incredibly adaptable. They understand that we could be preparing for one opponent and that changes. Like I said, we try to spend a lot more time on ourselves so there's not too many dramatic changes for them. But my staff has just been absolutely incredible. Our training staff, our athletic director, in terms of helping us stay focused and communicating some of the changes that we get early. That's really been the biggest thing, really communicating with each other, staying on top of it, and being prepared for anything. And just having a great mindset going into it. Like I said, we have a resilient group, we have a fun group. We're really, just trying to enjoy every single day and stay in the moment. And we'll play the team that pops up next on the schedule.
Well, last question I have for you. On Martin Luther King Day, the MAAC announced the next schedule of the next round of readings for the Timeout for Black Lives basketball reading program. So I believe you read the book Together for Kwanzaa, which should be on our site either now or soon. If you could just talk about your experience with that and what the book was about and your role in it.
It was such a fun experience. I think the MAAC has really hit the nail on the head with this initiative. Coach Patino bringing it to the MAAC and hopefully this starting to spread through other conferences. It's just such a great initiative to really focus on, Black history, Black culture, and really for student athletes to reach out to young kids and have that connection with them and to do something for them. I'm incredibly excited to be a part of that. I had a great time reading the book. It was absolutely awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing the impact that we can have on some of the young kids who look at these student athletes and coaches as role models. They want to play sports, and then seeing, this impact from a different angle, I think it has the opportunity to really grow into an incredible initiative nationwide.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out to join us today. Hopefully we can see you and your team back very soon. But again, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much.